Alright, hello everyone. Today we're going to be doing another episode in a series of reviewing every single season in Apex Legends. Today we're going to be going over Season 15, or the Season Eclipse, because that's what it's also called. So this started on November 1st, 2022, and ended February 14th, 2023. So yeah, this was, from what I can remember, a little bit of a better season, I would say, because obviously we got Broken Moon. We also got Catalyst, which I think was one of the cooler characters that we got in a while. I'd say Mad Maggie was the last one before this that I really thought was quite interesting. Like, Vantage was a bit like meh. The story was a bit meh. Newcastle, I mean, I like the fact that like it's Bangalore's brother, but then apart from that, not really much else really. We haven't seen the story progress for him since then, so um, but for Catalyst, though, it really added a new kind of worms to the lore in a way, because then we got under not Big Margot, Big Sister and Margot being the same person from the group of friends that she has, as well as obviously all the lore that ties to Broken Moon and Cleo, and you know it actually added quite a lot of lore to the game. So I'm very, very glad that Catalyst and Broken Moon were actually added to the game. We also had the Olympus and World's Edge rotation as well, which is pretty good for maps, because I don't think many people were enjoying King's Canyon after the update in Season 14. People just didn't really feel like it changed much. Um, then we also had a theme of Goth on the Battle Pass, as well as the reactive weapon being a charge rifle. We also had 3 events as well, which is more than previous seasons. So we had the Wintertide Spellbound Celestial Sunrise event, and we also had stickers be added. Now, in my opinion, this season, in terms of monetization, was one of the worst, because for the first time, we actually got I think it was the Celestial Sunrise event. We got a Peacekeeper reactive skin as the reward for the end of it. And I believe it was like 200 quid to get that skin as well. So a £200 um, legendary Peacekeeper skin that you could just get from a battle pass. That was basically getting priced in an event, and no one enjoyed that. It was so bad that even EA had to come out and say, like, okay, we're not going to do that again, as they then proceed to do it 4 or 5 seasons later when they add exotic shards into the game, and then just add reactive skins into the shop anyway. So, yeah, it was a very bad point in terms of monetization, because it really showed the community that Apex is not trying to like just add these events in for like our benefit. Like, oh yeah, here you go, guys. This is some new content. Here's an event. No, no, no. This is just a cash grab, and that was what it was like from the beginning, and that is the problem. I think that Apex really falls down to quite a lot of the time when it comes to monetization. Is monetization can be done good. You can have people want to give you as a company money, as long as the things that you're monetizing aren't just so easily to be seen as cash grabs. Like, for example, like I really like certain heirlooms, but when there's like fucking like literally 25 heirlooms in the shop, each of them like 500 quid each, you can clearly tell that they're trying to really monetize the hell out of it, and it makes me not want to actually get them, because then I'm going to be falling into that bucket of, all right, okay, you just spent 500 quid on a game, when obviously I didn't. Obviously, you leveled up and I actually unlocked the things, but you get put in that bucket either way. You get labeled as that. So yeah, the monetization from here onwards just goes to that next level of being greedy. Even stickers as well weren't really seen as that great either. It was just another thing that kind of cluttered battle passes, and also kind of pointless, because I don't think anyone really has ever said, "Oh, I want to put that sticker on my shield cell." I don't think anyone's ever said that before, because they're just kind of like there, and no one ever acknowledges them. So in my opinion, it was just kind of like a mid kind of season in that regard. Apart from that, though, I would say it's kind of like the same thing as what Stormpoint released as. except Broken Moon, I felt like was more of a pub stomping in ranked map and didn't really work that well for competitive. So kind of similar to Olympus in a way, but I feel like it was better designed for like rotations and stuff than Olympus. But definitely along the same lines as Olympus. But it just looked not as nice as other maps. That's the thing. That's why a lot of people just didn't really like Broken Moon, because it also just didn't look nice. Now, when we did get a map update, I think it was season 21. I think it was. I think that was the next map update for the season, for this map. When we got that map update, of course, it might be season 20 actually. I don't know. They all blend into one. But when we got that map update, then I think a lot of people actually really enjoyed it. I think Broken Moon might be my favourite map, I think, now. It's very much up there. Just because of that map update, it actually changed quite a lot of the different rotation options and made the map actually feel pretty fun to play with. Play on. Especially when you land on the hot drop areas, and there's 2 big hot drop areas on the map in the center, which I think is very unique and actually works very well because you can essentially hop between the 2. So yeah, I think it's honestly, it works really well, the map, but when it first launched, it definitely was not the best. But yeah, as for Catalyst and everything, I want to go into the trailers first. I'm going to play all of the trailers related to this season, and then I'm going to give my thoughts on Catalyst.
And that's supposed to tell you something?
This crystal represents courage. This represents beauty.
Okay, spot on so far. And what does the bag of rocks say about you?
Let's find out.
Only by working together can we ensure the survival of warriors. Hope is not lost.
Thanks to the generous contributions of Hammond Robotics, a plan to stabilize Cleo is underway.
Our moon is crying out for help. I sense her pain. She needs us to protect her.
Let me guess. That someone is us.
Someone needs to do something.
Last time we listened to you, we almost ended up in jail.
I thought we were a sisterhood.
You're going too far, Margot. It's getting scary.
The curfew is now in effect.
I should go.
Reminder,
Me too.
the curfew is now in effect.
You're not going with them?
Nah, I've got nowhere else to be.
She's a risk taker now. I like it. Come on. I want to show you something.
You're going too fast.
We're almost there, you big baby. See?
It's beautiful.
So are you. This suits you.
I feel like the whole world has opened up now that I'm myself.
I'm glad. Funny, isn't it? The moon may be dying, but it's this place that's broken.
Do you really think Cleo will collapse?
Not if I can help it. Give me your hand. I see creativity, compassion, leadership.
Leadership? Really?
I only tell you what the palm tells me. You're much stronger than you realize. You've already been through so much.
Transitioning. That was sort of hard.
But look at you now. You'll go on to do great things. This, it has been seen.
Why did you bring me here?
I have a plan to save Cleo.
Oh,
But it's dangerous.
whatever it is, I'm in.
Hammond isn't here to help. They're building that thing to strip Cleo. To consume her. And we're gonna stop them.
What is this? say anything about a bomb.
What did you think we were doing here?
Stop. People could get hurt.
The woman who saved Cleo.
Do the rocks tell you what happened to her?
No. They only tell you what you already know. That I had to come here to protect my true home.
Well, that's a rough bit of luck. Okay, now to Sheila. She's been all moody lately.
It has been seen. I've seen it more times than I can count.
All fun and games until someone loses an eye.
It seems fate has finally brought us together.
We spent years building this place. And you've ruined it.
I can explain.
I have no interest in your excuses.
What is this anomaly? What are we waiting for? Let's go!
This wasn't fate. This was the future you made. "26 years ago, a meteor crashed into our moon. But that is not what broke us. This settlement was meant to be our salvation. Perhaps it still can be. Hear that bell? It's the witching hour. Enemy down. Do not falter. I don't fear anything. I hope you're ready. Extending to re-engage. Let's to the edge of the abyss. I will be the woman to pull us back. Catalyst. The woman who saved Cleo. Want a prediction for your future? Look no further than 𝗙𝗲_Ch_Smith, aka Catalyst. Greetings from the dark side of the moon. With her, victory is in sight. Catalyst is as fearsome as she is enchanting. Careful, something wicked this way comes. Catalyst's bewitching abilities sway the battlefield in her favor. Anything they don't understand, they call magic. In a bind, Catalyst's ferrofluid can block paths and reinforce doors. I fortified a door. Buying time to regroup and turn the tables on her enemies. You can't make a diamond without pressure. Winning takes iron will. I brought iron and will. Conjure ferrofluid to lay spikes when enemies are nearby. Rest your eyes for a spell. Catalyst eclipses the competition with her ultimate. You came into this blind. Slow incoming enemy movements and block their vision. Captivating and resolute, Catalyst will stop at nothing to save Cleo. Hear that bell? It's the witching hour. As dawn breaks over a new moon, I'm here for all the witches. Hex the competition with the all-new Eclipse Battle Pass. Command the battlefield with Imperial Assailant Ash.
Keep your friends close. And your enemies under your blade.
Deliver terror in style as mail-order monster revenant. Embrace the darkness with the legendary Obsidian Night Havoc. And control the cosmos with the Laser Eviscerator and Cosmic Cannon charge rifles.
Beauty is pain. I'm the beauty and, well, you can guess the rest.
Enhance your favorite Legends enchanted looks with matching weapons, holo sprays, and emotes.
I love field work. Yowdy.
Make a statement as you enter the ring with new skydive emotes.
Well then, let's see you work your magic.
Squat up, dive in, and bewitch your enemies with the Eclipse Battle Pass.
Who am I? The kind of witch you don't mess with.
So, after watching the trailers, obviously, there's quite a lot to digest. But from what I can remember, the battle pass was pretty good, to be honest. I think it was the first battle pass in a while that I think it was actually quite worth it for the actual money that you're spending to actually get the items. I thought it was actually quite good. The overall feeling of the season was pretty good going into it because obviously new map, something else to play, but actual gameplay changes, there wasn't much, to be honest. From what I can remember, there wasn't really too much. It's just going to be like the same kind of thing, and that's what a lot of people were starting to really complain about, especially off like season 12, 13, 14, 15 now, is that it's the same cycle. Of course, we're getting new legends, and that is a great thing, by the way, having new legends, but then it's just that, you know, and I think that is the complaint that a lot of people had, is that there's no innovation, there's nothing really new, and I think the fact that we're not actually getting weapons is also a big problem as well, because that does make every season blend into one, because there's no new weapon to essentially like timestamp the differences in gameplay. But as for Catalyst, though, she released very strong, especially in competitive as well. She was right smack bang into competitive straight away, and that's what you love to see, because ALGS was literally there straight away. It was probably the most fun ALGS that I've watched. I think the only ALGS that I've watched all the way through as well. So in terms of competitive, this was the time that I think Apex really shone, because they released a character that was straight into ALGS, and no one knew who this character was. I think that had some relation to like Rampart and Sia as well, so there's some connections to the characters. But like, we're like, who is this person, you know? And yeah, the character just overall just shone in competitive. It shone in pubs as well and ranked. But yeah, I think, and I believe as well, they actually kept Catalyst pretty high up there in pick rate and, you know, use case for a good bit. I think it was the mid-season update that they actually nerfed her, I'm pretty sure. So they actually kept her pretty powerful for a while, which is good, because I like that. And I believe they actually made Caustic more powerful than Catalyst, so they kind of switched them out. And then I think later on they then switched it back again, so then Catalyst is more powerful. So I like that, to have a little like switch, make one more powerful and the other one more powerful. But overall, though, like, Broken Moon was like a pretty mid map on release. Obviously, that's really it, though. Catalyst and Broken Moon. That's it. That's all that got added in this update. Really, there's nothing really much else. Apart from that, obviously, we got like new features on the Broken Moon map that essentially allow you to like jump up into the air, like little like launch things, that allow you to go on them little zip rails. But apart from that, that's it. There was not much. There was a lot of events, which I think is great. But when that's all you're getting, it's a little bit shite. And when some of the events are very badly monetized and you really piss off the community, that's going to draw some bad attention. So, yeah, it was definitely a turning point, I think, this, in terms of monetization, where it just went downhill. And, yeah, actual content just was lacking. So I think this might be the first season in a while that adds a new map, and it's not really getting a good mark. I would say this is probably a little bit better than the previous seasons, but is it as good as season 7 that I gave an 8? I wouldn't say so. I would say this is probably a 7.5. It's only 0.5 more than the previous seasons that were very much lacking as well. But the only thing that obviously makes this one better is that we've got a new map, so it's something to actually play, really. And obviously a new character, but like, apart from that, that's it, you know? All else that we got was just a lot of controversy, so that really does limit the mark and how high it can go. So we're just getting the same kind of marks in the past, like, how many seasons, so we really need some change here, as you guys can tell. So we'll have to see what happens in the next season, but hopefully you guys did enjoy this video, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye for now.